Aton and Rhonda are nominated for eviction, but who will win the Golden Power Veto? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. It's day 62 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week, Nicole is the head of household. She nominated Aton and Rhonda for eviction, but the Golden Power Veto can still change the nominations. Who will win it? We'll find out shortly. But first, I apologize that today's episode is so late, but I was trying to survive a tribal council in the org I was playing, and I did not survive. So my my pattern of going out very early in orgs continues with, 16th out of 21. And I've only had one good finish, which was 3rd out of 21. And I finished 3rd in Backyard Big Brother, which is good. So that's why I was busy. And, it's okay. I'm just going to apply to a new org and keep applying until I get into another one. Because, why not keep going? As Rue had a quote on Drag Race. It wasn't actually Rue's quote. It was Nelson Mandela's quote that winners are dreamers who never give up. That is exactly me. I will never stop applying to Big Brother Canada. I will never stop playing orgs until I win. And even then, I probably won't stop. So it's all good. Obviously disappointed with a couple of the people that voted me out, but it's the game, so it is what it is. And my reaction overall to losing gets better each time, which is good for my mental health. I'm getting more and more used to losing. Obviously, what happened with Ecstasy with Jake, that was more of I was falling in love with him, and so I was heartbroken. But from the game perspective, I was not upset that I got 0 votes at the final tribal. So, Okay, so some quick announcements. I will have my Reality Realness review tomorrow. Rumor has it Chad was a no-show. That is interesting. I don't know what happened there, Chad, but if Charlene can do it, you can do it. Just saying. Next up, the Head of Household competition for next week will take place. It's a rare live competition that is not luck-based. I'm sick and tired of hearing, though, a luck-based bullshit. This one, I will fight you to the death. It is not luck-based. It is a race. It is going to be fun, and it is taking place Tuesday at midnight. And I think that's everything. I don't have a lot to talk about because I was so focused on the org. The house was pretty quiet today. Not much going on, so let's just get let's just do it. Let's get into the results of the Big Brother Ballsy Blackjack Golden Power Veto competition, where the winner also gets a Sapphire Power Veto. Okay, is everybody ready? Let's begin. Okay, so round 1. In each round, and I did make it clear enough in the last episode, whoever has the highest score would advance to round 2, and the first 4 to advance to round 2 advance. But in the first hand, this is what happened. Aton with 23 and Nicole with 22 have gone over and are eliminated. That means everybody else automatically advances to round 2. Rhonda had 21. Jonathan made that Joker 9, so he had 17. Chantel had 19. Brazil have 20. The 4 of you advanced to round 2. So Nicole and Aton went over, and so they are eliminated. Now we move on to round 2, which was much more interesting. Each of the 4 players were dealt 4 cards. They had to assign the 4 cards to each of the 4 players, themselves included, knowing that the top 2 closest to 21 without going over would advance to round 3. Once everybody distributed their cards, so generally speaking, if you have a high card, you want to give it to an enemy or somebody you don't want to win, because in hopes that other people will do that and they'll go over 21. Once everybody did that, I gave them the option of at peeking at one of the 3 cards that were given to them by other players. So you know what you gave yourself. 3 other players gave you a card each, and I allowed them to peek at one of those 3 cards. Then I asked them, do you want to keep your hand as is, or do you want to cut it in half? Here's what happened.
It was interesting. Rhonda did not cut her score in half because she knew those first two cards were a 2 and a 3, but she still busted with 23. She is eliminated. Jonathan, after I made the explanation that an ace is low, he decided with 18 to cut his score in half, so he goes down to 9. Chantel had 15. She stayed with that, so she's advancing. Brazil had 27, but she cut her score in half to 13.5. So Jonathan with 9, that's not enough. You are eliminated. Brazil with 13.5 and Chantel with 15, you advance.
So Jonathan and Rhonda are eliminated, which leaves us with Brazil and Chantel. Round 3 was very interesting. It was blind blackjack where Chantel and Brazil were shown 2 cards, but those cards were the opposite players' cards. And they had to bet up to 10 All-Star dollars. The ante was 1 on their own hand, which was only seen by their opponent. And this one, because they both constantly had good cards for the most part, they were going like folding back and forth, up and down, and it took a good hour, which I did not think through, but it went back and forth, back and forth. Chantel was leading throughout pretty much the entire competition, and then Brazil, with some good cards and some good bluffs, pulled it off, which means Brazil, congratulations! You have won the Golden Power Veto and the Sapphire Power Veto as a bonus prize. You have until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to privately message me whether you are using it to save Aton or Rhonda from eviction. So tomorrow, my thoughts on Reality Realness, and will Brazil use the Golden Power Veto to save Aton or Rhonda? And if so, who will Nicole nominate in their place? Tuesday, the final 2 nominees plead their case, and we check in with Kat and Joanne in the jury house. Wednesday is the next live eviction and head of household competition where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house, and we'll join Chad in the Temple where one will stay and one will go. I'm Andrew Cheswick Moonbest. Take care, and remember, people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Good night.